Today I am going to do something a little different. We're going to do some slab work. Some folks like to use a slab roller, and we do have one, but frankly I prefer to still do it with a rolling pin and some sticks. I find that I can manipulate the clay exactly where I want it, and I don't have to worry about the texture. Well, the texture from the fabric that you have to roll through the slab roller. So honestly, I can do it faster this way, and I prefer it this way. And most folks I teach actually prefer doing slabs this way. So I use some sticks. They are about 1/4 inch thick. I'm working on just a regular old Formica countertop. I squirt some WD-40, so I got a big bottle of WD-40 in this squirter, and that is my release, so it does not stick to my table. And then I just have a regular rolling pin is what I use. So here's how I feel about slab work. Slab work is one of the first things I teach people when they want to learn to work with clay. I find it quite easy to form a shape in a really get a really nice quality looking piece from a slab. And so I think it's a lot easier than throwing, and that's why I always start folks out with slab work. So this is some white clay, and I just always guess about how much I need for the shape I'm going to do, and I've gotten pretty good at guessing. So there we go. This is the shape I am going to do. All right, so let's get started. And I usually just start by flattening the clay out a little bit just to get it going. There we go. And then I'm going to turn it because that's going to be wide enough for my piece. And so I'm going to start rolling it a little bit out like this. And if you can make pie, like a homemade pie crust, you can do slab work. It's just not that hard. You just slowly thin it out like this. And then I like to, part of the way through, I'm going to make sure my WD-40 is still good there. Part of the way through, I flip it over. And then I roll some more. So the sticks are there because it stops me from making any section too thin. And my rolling pin, when it hits the sticks, then I know I have a slab that is 1/4 inch thick. And there we go. All right, I don't really like the WD-40 feel on my fingers, so I usually am weird about wiping it off, but anyway. All right, so I have this a couple cool stamps, and I want some texture on this piece. So I'm going to put this rock texture on this piece now, and I put a little WD-40 on this stamp, and it's just a rolly stamp, so it won't stick to my clay, and I'll get a really nice rock impression, and that's what that is. I'm going to roll back down this way, and this is actually going to be a lamp base. It's a new idea that I had for a lamp base, and I'm going to stick glass in this base, and I'm going to make this look like water is what I'm going to do. So the glass will actually give the ability for these rocks to show through. Let me take a look at where we are here. Okay, so there we go with the texture that I put in, and I'm liking that. And I move all this aside, and I'm going to pick up this piece of clay, scoop it up, and I'm going to set it in my form. There we go. Okay, I'm going to stick some fern around the edge, and I'm actually going to call this a I'm gonna call it Water's Edge piece, because like I said, I'm gonna stick the glass in it, and I want it to have this really cool rustic look. And that it will get probably a copper lampshade that has mountains and bears on it. So right now I'm just going around here and putting all these fern on the edge of the piece. And this is a little bit different from what I usually do, because I usually do very refined forms and not too much rustic, but I am going to do a little bit of rustic and nature oriented pieces, because I just think it is going to be a lot of fun. And then I'm just going to pat this down a little bit so it takes the shape of the form without messing up my beautiful stonework. But here's how it is looking right now with the texture on it, the pebble texture and then the fern texture on there. So we will come back a little later when things stiffen up and continue our process. Let it stiffen up. I need to get it upside down because I've got to put some feet on it, because if I'm going to turn this into a lamp, it has to have some lift so I can get all the mechanism in it for the lamp. But there we go. That's what we're going to go with.